This is Hardrocker Highlights from the Christensen Hall of Fame here on the campus of the School of Mines with Nate Jacobson. This is Tom Rudebusch, and Nate, a member of the Hardrocker basketball team in his junior year from St. Thomas More High School. And Nate, as you went through your athletic career, let's go back. Were you born in Rapid City?
I was actually born in Aberdeen.
Aberdeen?
Yes.
So he's used to this cold weather. This is nothing for Nate. Can you remember the first time that you ever saw a game or picked up a basketball, a football, a baseball? Can you remember that first moment when you thought, Gad, I like these games?
Probably the one camp that probably comes to mind was a basketball camp. It was the first one I ever been at Douglas High School. And Tobin Anderson and Steve Anderson were putting it on. And I think that was the first sport that I really got into, and I came home and I wasn't in YMCA basketball yet, and I came home, I said, Mom and Dad, I really want to, pursue basketball and get in a league next year or something. And from that camp, it really sparked my interest. And then from basketball, my interest in just all other sports really grew from there.
How old were you at that time?
I think I was second grade.
Second
grade, yep.
Now, you in high school, you excelled in football, basketball, played baseball during the summer, had great success, and you chose basketball to play in college. Was there any particular reason? Was that your favorite sport?
I think that was just always my dream, just to play college basketball from always a little kid. Probably as a youngster, I looked up to and idolized Matt Martin from Spearfish High School, and I really wanted to be like him. And I never really considered playing any other sport in college besides basketball. And I enjoyed playing those other sports, and I really had a lot of fun and wouldn't change anything that I did as far as playing those. But I just made it my goal and my dream to play college basketball. So.
Did you ever meet Matt Martin?
I did, yes. Actually, it was kind of a funny story, but in 8th grade we had a track meet up in Spearfish, and we actually arranged it. He lived up there. He was finishing his senior year of high school, and during one of the intermissions of the track meet, I actually went to his house and met him, and we actually did a little basketball workout in the middle of our track meet, and that was the first time I ever met him. And we've kind of kept in touch ever since then.
Nate, as you've come to the School of Mines and have done an excellent job here, and you go into each season, do you ever set goals for yourself? And if you do, how do you set those goals, or how do you determine what goals you would like to meet if you set goals?
To really be honest, I guess I don't really set personal goals, and I feel like I just go out there and play. I mean, every game is different. I don't try and go into a game saying I'm going to score 10 points this game or have 5 assists, or I try and go out there and play, and I feel like I can play more relaxed that way and feel more comfortable. And just always in every sport I've played, I've never set personal goals for myself. So I mean, I just try and go out there and play every game differently and just kind of let the game come to me, or that's what I try and do anyway.
You mentioned Matt Martin maybe as somebody that you liked when you were growing up. Did you have any athletes, say, in the professional ranks or any teams or something that really you followed?
Yes, actually, Dan Marino, quarterback for Miami Dolphins back in the day. He was probably, even more than Matt Martin, I idolized him because of how successful he was and just how he carried himself on and off the field. Just a classy guy, and he never won a Super Bowl, which is probably a downfall for him, but I just loved watching him play, and he never acted poorly after a loss, and he always won with class. And I would say out of all the sports idols I've ever looked after, it would probably be Dan Marino of the Miami Dolphins.
College, of course, is a little bit different because you eventually want to be a doctor.
Sure, yeah.
That's correct. I know where I can go when my retirement years come, where I can go to have my problem solved. But challenges here going to school at the School of Mines with the academics and the athletics, what kind of challenges do you face, and then how do you manage those challenges?
To be honest, it's hard to explain unless you're going through it. It's definitely, one of the most, if not the most, academically challenging schools in the state. And all the guys on the team, not just myself, but all the guys are immersed in 16, 17, 18 credits and constantly doing homework and, with road trips and trying to make up stuff. It really is a challenge. And, trying to balance athletics with academics, it really teaches you to manage your time well. And if you don't, probably both aspects of school are going to slip a little bit. And so, it just really teaches you good time management, and, you can't really waste any of your time. But I think in the long run, our whole team will be better for that down the road, not only in basketball, but once we graduate and go on to our jobs and things like that, is, we'll be able to be leaders and be able to manage our time well and handle different situations really well.
I think one of the things that fans talk about Nate Jacobson when they watch him play is he always seems to be in control, and he seems to be very disciplined in your approach to the game and into your studies in life. Is that true? Would you say that's a fair characterization?
I would say that's very true, and I've been that way for a long time, and I think that even goes back to the people I've looked after, and just always trying to do whatever it is I'm doing at the highest level that I can. And I think I wouldn't say I put pressure on myself, but I do hold very high expectations for myself, and whatever I'm doing, I'm trying to be the best at it or trying to work as hard as I can at it. And so far I've been able to do that both in basketball or in high school sports, and definitely with academics. And I'm very proud of myself for the hard work that I've put forward so far.
Is there any inspiration you've received from somebody, or motivation or inspiration, or that over the years that you always look back on and think, that was really a key moment in my life. It gave me some encouragement, some inspiration to continue on?
Oh, that's a good question.
As you can see, we don't practice these questions before we go on these interviews. It's just off the cuff, and it is a tough question, because I'm sure there's a lot of instances if you took time to think about it.
I mean, I was going to say that I don't think there's really one life-changing or one aha moment that I've ever had. But I would say a combination of just all the different camps that I've been to, all the different people that I've met going through school, all the different coaches that I've had, all the different philosophies that I've been around, and just friends and teammates. It's every season, no matter what sport it is, it's going to be a different atmosphere on the team, and that's something that I really enjoy. I love being around our teammates and being around our coaches, and just whatever sport it is, showing up every day and it's going to be something different, and just kind of the camaraderie. I think that's probably as much motivation right there, just going out there every day and competing for your teammates.
You talked about when you were in 8th grade and Matt Martin. Let's say we have somebody who's in junior high or grade school who's watching this. Is there any advice that you could give a young boy or girl that aspires to be like Nate Jacobson?
I would say, it's not easy, and it's going to take hard work, and it's going to take commitment. And just because you want to be good, or just because you want to be the next School of Mines Hardrocker, or the next St. Thomas More Cavalier or Central Cobbler, it's not just going to happen because you want it. You've got to go out there and work for it and put in the time in the off season, and you've got to lift weights or watch film, and do your homework, do your studies for school. And it's the hard work is a lot of the stuff that people don't see. People see you every Friday or Saturday night playing, but there's so much more that goes into it. I think that a lot of fans maybe don't even realize is how much time and energy that it takes to be successful and to do what we're doing. And so for anyone looking up to play college sports or to play high school, you've got to want it. It's got to be inside of you, and you really got to go after it.
Final question. People ask me, and I don't mean to embarrass you here, but I say that you're a role model. You're a role model for a lot of young athletes. Can you accept that? Do you like that? If somebody says that, I mean, would you accept that?
I really like that, and I think as part of being in a situation in Rapid City where I'm familiar with Rapid, I think a lot of Rapid City fans are familiar with me, is I do accept that challenge. And it's not even a challenge, it's more just like being a role model. And you know, I always try and look back upon when I was a kid growing up. I would always go to the high school basketball games in town, watch Rapid City Central, and I would just look up to those kids and just admire them. And I couldn't wait to be the water boy or go shake their hands after the game or give them high fives. And that made my week right there, being at those games. And so I realized that, you know, it means a lot to those little kids and kids looking up to you to just give them a high five or talk to them. You know, it might not be much, but just like the littlest thing can really make a huge difference.
You can see why he's a role model. That's Nate Jacobson of the Hardrocker basketball team, and this has been Hardrocker Highlights. For Inside Dakota Sports, this is Tom Rudebusch.